So great to have you here with me today. Sunday morning meditation. My name is aLex. This is Sun and Moon Yoga Studio's YouTube channel. Sun and Moon Yoga Studio in Arlington and Fairfax, Virginia, but now largely online. I'm streaming from the beach, from not home. You might hear sounds from around this beach house, including from my dog as usual. Settle into your seat. Take time to get the seat very comfortable, and your seat might be, or your place might be a reclining position today, or a chair, even with support for your back, or just a couple cushions on the ground as I'm using. Last week's theme was what's in a name, I'm pretty sure. This week I titled this practice, This Much is True. So in the practices I'm practicing and learning these days, one element is inspired through a perspective or a discipline developed by Marshall Rosenberg, a way of rethinking our communication called nonviolent communication. Some of you may be very familiar with it, or others may be partly have heard of it or not heard of it at all. Trying to remember a quote from Marshall Rosenberg. It's something like, every judgment, every harsh assessment is a, a tragic, forgot the next word, tragic, something of an unmet need, tragic evidence. I've botched that one quite well, but in any case, I'll unpack that a little bit for you. One of the things we do when we're in meditation, and one of the methods is, as I mentioned last week, is to notice thoughts, experiences that seem to be coming to you. Give them a label, name them, and then let them go. Part of the usefulness of this, especially in doing this from a meditation posture and meditation quiet, the groundedness, the centeredness, the presence, is that we get to see more clearly, more and more clearly, so something that comes to us over and over, maybe it's something that often comes to you in meditation, a particular to-do list item or a particular planning method, or a particular relationship element of a relationship. And when we can meet this, again, like from Rumi's Guest House poem, welcoming and suspending our judgment, or being willing to see it as it truly is, being willing to receive it, whatever it is, an emotion, a thought, a memory, a plan, we begin to be able to see it more clearly. It may take time. By labeling it, we step toward an expression and being able to accurately depict our perception to another. This is the communication part. The next step in this process that I'm just learning, to be accurately explain to someone else what what we are seeing, one of the next steps is uh, two next steps. One, to express how we might feel about it, how it affects us. Then, perhaps to express our need, if we have a need around that, and to then formulate a request. Very clearly, not a demand, but a request. So this work, if you're interested, if I've, with my botched quote, if I've piqued your curiosity, I recommend looking up videos. Marshall Rosenberg's no longer alive with us, but there are videos and books. His book, uh, this method may be, I'm thinking it may be very helpful anytime, but especially in these times. Okay, so let's settle. With that in mind, let's go ahead and begin our 12-minute meditation. So settle to your seat if you haven't already as you listened. And whatever elements of practice assist you to come into the present. Sensing the ground that we're sitting on. This earth, this contact, this body with the solid support underneath. Sensing the flow of your breath within your presence here. And relaxing, even as your spine is upright if you're seated. And returning to those basics as often as you need, especially if you feel unsettled, distracted, accosted by the tyranny of thoughts or preferences. Ground, always here. Breath, always available as long as we're alive. And then sound, ground, breath, sound. listening with all the senses. Listening invokes a spaciousness, doesn't it? Spaciousness, a boundless, welcoming presence, perhaps. And as I shared last week, a gift from one of my teachers, we might ask ourselves, is there space for joy in this meditation? So this simplicity, and simply sitting and lightly aware of all that we receive. Perhaps this may feel more and more like a coming home and a place of refuge. Even so, and even as we may often or sometimes have that experience, the distractions or thoughts that come may seem to indicate failure. And just to take that as an example, that could be given a label, a name. What's my expression of what's true here about that kind of experience? I might call it, oh, that familiar thought. I'm noticing that familiar thought. makes me feel like I'm not a good meditator. And perhaps from that I could make a request to myself. Let's let that thought of failure, let's let it go and simply come back. 3 more breaths in this meditation together today. 3 more breaths. And let's bring our palms together at the heart, in front of the heart, and bow together. May you remember the pauses, and you take them with you. Begin to insert them more and more so that our practice becomes our life. And perhaps we can also notice as we're moving through life, really honor our experience, what is coming here, and rather than just uh, assuming that what has been true is still true, perhaps we can open a little bit of space and see if there might be a clearer truth, clearer truth, and that might pave the way for more accurate expression and requests as opposed to demands of others. And one of the things, when we can clearly express a need, that most people respond with an open heart and kindness to the need of another, rather than if our needs are described as demands, that already puts us at odds. And I'm still learning this, so thank you for bearing with me as I share a little bit of this with you. Enjoy and see you here next week. Ciao, ciao.